Hey everybody, it's Romania Black, and we are starting our extras for season 3 before we get to the movie for Kuroko's basketball. I kind of have like a thing with organizing, and I blame the teacher and me for doing it, but I just have to do it by season and in order. So we're not doing the audio dramas before the movie because there's like 9 hours worth of audio drama. So I'm going to be splitting that up all summer because there's no way I can sit in one sitting and watch 9 hours. Especially audio drama, because you're just listening to it. There's not as much visual interaction with that medium. So I'm definitely going to be splitting that up and doing it simultaneously with the manga readings this summer to kind of just go through it. So you're going to get like a double dose of Kurokos this summer to round out the series. But I did want to go ahead and watch the special for season 3 as well as the bloopers for season 3 before next week when we'll do the character songs for season 3, and then we'll have the movie and then the stuff after that, because there's like 10th anniversary specials, there's movie songs, lots of different things. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. But there's so much Kurokos to get through. But I wanted to go ahead and watch the bloopers and the specials this week that just go with season 3 and go from there. I'm not going to do it like I did in the past where I watch an audio drama with it, because there's so many audio dramas. They need to be their own thing out to the side here after the movie. And plus it'll be nice to do it along with the manga. It'll be fun. It'll be two different mediums at the same time. But yeah, so I don't know how long of a video this will be. I'm going to have in a separate reaction, the reactions to all of the content that you guys will be able to click a link to down below and watch. And then we'll do I'll take notes like I do with the anime, and then we'll just come back and discuss everything as a whole when it's done. That seems like that's the easiest way to do it. Otherwise, it would be kind of like, we do the bloopers in one link, talk about it, then go to another link for the special. I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. So anyway, I'm really excited. I wore my slam dunk shirt because irony. But I'm really excited, y'all, to talk about this series. I feel like I ranted a lot in the last set of the anime, and I got things, when I went back and re-listened to it, I was like, okay, I don't sound as harsh as I thought I did. So hopefully y'all didn't think that either. But I feel like we need the specials and stuff as like a little palate cleanser and a breather before the movie. Again, no spoilers or hints or clues about the movie. I'm going in completely blind on that one, and I'm really excited. But I do look forward to starting the manga in a few weeks and being able to like start fresh and go at it from a different perspective. Like, I am excited about that. It's got me really, really hyped to look at the manga because I love reading manga, so it's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, so I did want to thank Anime Annie for putting together this compilation. There was the season 3 special was on Bilibili, but when I went to go click on it, it said that it was copyrighted in my country and I couldn't watch it, and I was like, damn it. So I did find somebody on YouTube has the English sub up, and I was like, good for you, YouTube, thank you. So I'll have a link to that down below. And then the specials, the bloopers, I'm not exactly going to link to because they're on Discord if you want to get on Discord, but they're basically, there's some on Facebook that were there, and then two of them were from a sketch site. But for some reason, someone on Facebook uploaded 7 of the 9 bloopers, and then I had to go to this sketchy site to watch the last 2. So hopefully there's no boob shots that pop up. But I will send you a link down below to the special. And then the bloopers, y'all can go on the Discord. If you're on the Discord to find a link to those, Anime Annie posted it. Or you can look on Facebook or Go Anime to find that and see for yourself. But the bloopers are fairly short, so. But I do want to give a special shout out to Anime Annie, as well as all of the others on the philanthropy tier on Patreon. You guys are all super, super supportive and very, very motivating, encouraging, and you guys are so awesome. And honestly, the manga editions coming up, I'm using my funds from Patreon to buy the manga to react to. So I like to support the official release. I would do so on this special if it were on a DVD or streaming site, but alas, it is not. So I do want to thank those on the philanthropy tier for supporting me, because you all, the omnibus manga editions are not cheap, and if I didn't have Patreon, there's no way I could afford to buy it. So I use my Patreon funds to fund my subscriptions, to fund all the manga and anime that I buy to review and react to for the streaming services. Like, it all goes straight into that. So I really appreciate everybody for chipping in and helping with that. I really, really appreciate it. So a special shout out to Edgar, to Dana, to Anime Annie, to Tyrone, to Nameless Monster, to Shimoyama, to Be Happy, to Kenny and Arjo, as well as to Translucent Men, Sunspots, Eric, and Alex Cornejo. You all go above and beyond, and I greatly appreciate your support. All of my love. But yeah, so I'm excited, y'all. I can't wait to dive into this final special. I think there's a special fan disc for the movie, so we've got that to look forward to, but I think maybe there are bloopers for the movie. I can't recall, but in any case, I'm excited. I hope you all are too. So we're not going to waste any more time. We are going to dive into Kuroko's Basketball, the Season 3 special, as well as the Season 3 bloopers, and we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's do this. That was really, really cute. I think out of all the bloopers, that may be my favorite set of bloopers. I think it's the most solid of all the bloopers. I feel like the joke-wise, there was so much material they could work with the Season 3 bloopers that I feel like it was the best version. I liked those bloopers the best out of all of them. I think they were the funniest. The stuff that they took, just taking, like, the idea of Kagami being not as strategic as Akashi and playing off of that, the idea of Azuki and playing off the puns. Mabuchi, they all but confirmed that Mabuchi is into guys. Like, they pretty much just said it outright. And the whole Mabuchi and Akashi ship, we'll talk about that in the special, but like Mabuchi being into Takao, I was like, I could get into a one-sided ship of Mabuchi and Takao, but Takao is like all with Midorima, so you can't. Takao is like only shippable for me with Midorima, but I do like the idea of like a one-sided crush on Mabuchi with him. Like, that's really cute. I love it. And that he considers Takao cute, right? And I like that Mabuchi is like kind of hung up on the idea that he's like, ew, why do I think Nabuya's burps are cute? Gross. But him making chocolates for Valentine's Day for Akashi, and Akashi being like, sure, I'll take them. I'm like, I mean, if Mayuzumi graduated and moved on and Furihata's not available, the Mabuchi and Akashi, I can get behind Mabuchi and Akashi, actually. I find it interesting that they chose Mabuchi to be the one to be in the special, because I guess that makes the most sense, because Nebuya, you already have Kagami and Aomine there, and Murasaki Bara, who are the foodies. They're just sitting there eating all the time and bulking up. And that was kind of Nebuya's thing, so it would seem like overkill to have him there as well, because the joke is Kagami with all the burgers and then Murasaki Bara with all the desserts. So you don't need Nebuya there. Hayama would have been fun, but I don't see, of all the Rakuzen players hanging out together, I see Akashi and Hayama the least, because they're such different personalities. And then Mayuzumi, I could never see hanging out with any of these people, because Mayuzumi's a bitch. And he's like, I don't want to hang out with them. No, I'm a third year. They're just babies. I could just see Mayuzumi being like, no, thank you. So that wouldn't work. So you're really left with Mabuchi. And Mabuchi has good chemistry with everybody there, so it actually works out really, really good. I want to go through and talk about the special. The bloopers, as far as they go, if I had my favorites, all the ones with Aomine, where he's like trying to sneak the magazine and Kuroko's like, it's like the closest Kuroko's gotten to look like Akashi, where he's like, what are you doing? You know you shouldn't be taking a dirty magazine. You're not 18 yet. And he's like, Kuroko. Like, I just love that. And Aomine talking about looking at like being obsessed with women's boobs. And I'm like, you're around Momoy all the time. About that. But I loved that. I loved all the Mabuchi ones. The Murasaki Bara, he's so easy to do bloopers with because his obsession with snacks. The one where the snacks just keep piling up and Himuro's like that one was really good. I liked it as well. And then Alex just kicking the crap out of Haizaki. Freaking amazing. Love that. Where she's like, yeah, I got him. It's like, it's just, for our humor, right? Mm-hmm. I'm surprised they didn't do a zone within the zone joke, but I feel like that may have been too easy. So we'll go with harder material, right? But the bloopers were really funny. I liked those. Let's talk about the special, because the bloopers, they were fairly short. I was glad that they were all really good quality for being on Facebook and that sketch site. I'm glad the sketch site ones were fine. They were okay. The one with Matobe, before we start the special, the one with the Matobe, that wasn't even a blooper. That was like extra material where Kogane was going to quit the team, and it was Matobe that convinced him to stay. Matobe convinced him to join, convinced him to stay. They're an OTP. Oh, Kogane and Matobe OTP. I really wanted Matobe to talk at some point in this series, but I guess that would defeat the whole purpose with his character not speaking. But I really wanted him to say something by the end, like even if it was just a like that, and everybody's like I was just waiting for it, and we didn't get it, so it's fine. I thought that was very amusing. I really liked that. So let's talk about the special. I actually, you know what? I liked Akashi in this special because everything was very tongue-in-cheek, right? He's like, we'll have a chat, and everybody's like, I really loved Hamuro and Murasaki Bara's expression with the chat. They're both like, what? We're all okay with this? Like, I found Akashi the most fine in this version because he wasn't being like stuck up in any way. The bad Akashi is gone, and now Akashi is just kind of like, he's just there being serene, right? And at the very end, I did like how he acknowledged, he's like, well, it's because, you know, you found Kagami, right? And Kuroko's like, yes. And I'm like, my Kagakuro heart. But yeah, Akashi was fine in this. I didn't have any. I love that Mabuchi was there as the narrator because Mabuchi's he's an outside character, kind of like Kamuro, but Mabuchi he's not directly associated with the Generation of Miracles. Like Takao and Midorima, ship. Murasaki Bara and Hamuro, ship. Mabuchi and Akashi, I can see the ship. I'm 100% for the ship, but it's not like established like Takao and Hamuro's are, so he can kind of sit there as an outsider and provide information. I freaking love that Midorima brought a bowling pin as the lucky item to the restaurant, and nobody questions it. Everybody's just like, okay. And he just puts it on his tray. He just has it on his tray as he sits down and just sits there on the tray. So freaking cute. I love it. I don't know what the hell he's eating. It looks like soup. I'm like, what Maji burger serves soup? This ain't a Panera. And then, yeah, I like that they make a big deal about Akashi being at the Maji burger. Like, isn't this too common for your posh tastes? And he's like, I've heard of this Maji burger. I'm going to eat here at this restaurant. You know? Akashi with that part of the special gives me very Lucille Bluth vibes from Arrested Development, where she's like, how much could a banana cost? $10? And her son's like, you've never been in a grocery store before, have you? Like, you know, I kind of want, if you were going to do like, to make Akashi more relatable and funny, it would be really cute if they just did little specials of Akashi like going around doing normal things and him just being like, go to a grocery store, buy food. What? It would be really funny if they did that, but I think this special is funny all in its own right. Now, Murasaki Bara showing up late makes a lot of sense because he's from really far away. Almine, we'll talk about the chocolates because that scene was really, really funny. And then Kisei showing up. Oh, guys, sorry I kept you waiting. For being a model, Kisei is kind of disheveled, but it's really cute and fun. I like that he just shows up like, he has the bottle of water because he's got to keep that model figure, right? He's not drinking soda. No way. And then he has like a photo book of himself, like with the basketball, Ryota 2. Oh my god, I love it. I love that nobody... I will say, the funniest damn thing Akashi has said in this entire series so far is when Kisei was like, everybody, you should look at this book of me. And he's like, this burger's so delicious. Like, immediately changes the subject. I was like, that was the best line Akashi said this entire series. Like, Akashi getting a chance to be actually funny is very welcomed after the end of season 3. And so, yeah, they all got summoned together, and he's like, I would like a chat. He's like, you guys mentioned me in the last fan disc, but I didn't get to actually attend. And everybody's like, okay, what are we doing? I like they all have a powwow. They're like, do we really have a chat with him? What do we do? And Akashi's like, I'm right here. And so he's like, well, it's a fan disc, so we can do anything. So let's do a recap of the season. And I like that Mabuchi's like, I told him I wanted in and I volunteered to come because I want to see you guys. And also because I knew Takao was going to be here. He doesn't say that, but it's kind of like, at this point, you get the idea. So yeah, I love the little birds. The little birds on all of the posters is really, really cute. I like that Riko's on there and Momoi is too. I think that's Momoi. It's really sweet. But yeah, so we basically review everything that's happened with it. We do, that's actually a really good shot of Haizaki versus Kisei. That's a really good shot of them. I like that as the story goes on, we include more of them in the lineup, and even Murasaki Bara kind of fits in. It's really sweet. It felt like a nice little end of the season coming together, right? And so they talk about the differences between Haizaki and Kisei, and they go on about I felt bad for Kisei because I feel, again, like he gets the short end of the stick, right? But the best part of that whole segment was when Midorima was like, I'm really surprised that you could, like, just breaking the fourth wall and being like, I'm really surprised you could actually find Kuroko in that entire stadium of people. And Kisei's like, I just followed my instincts. And then Midorima was like, wait, what? I like that Midorima was expecting Kisei to, like, know ahead of time where Kuroko was sitting or find some explanation. But instead, Kisei just says, I just followed my gut. And Midorima's like, that doesn't work. I love Midorima can't let it go. It's so funny. And Takao ends up being like, it's okay, Midorima. We can get through it. So then Kuroko calls Aomine, who is under the covers. He doesn't sound incredibly sick on the phone, but I like that he's just sitting there all bundled up in his little burrito of blankets, and he has the basketball on the bed with him. There's a poster on the bed, but we don't see what it's for. It just like it's a poster by his bed. And then he's like, oh, I'll head that way now. I like that Kagami's shown eating the burger, but he's got like the wrapper around the burger. He's eating it very politely of all of his 12 burgers. And I like that Kagami figures it out ahead of time. They're like, it's rare for Aomine to be sick. And Kagami's like, maybe he ate something. And he did. He ate Momoi's chocolates. He ate Momoi's Valentine's Day chocolates. We'll talk about that when we get to it. So yeah, them all just sitting there watching the game. It was really, really cute. I liked that. I want to get here. Them all playing together. Super cute. Their first matchup of Shotoku. I like that we get Takao's views about Akashi. And again, I had forgotten about Takao setting up Midorima with that shot. That was such a great play. That's one of my favorite plays in the whole season, was the trust. The trust it takes in the shot. And I like Takao kind of calls Midorima out. He's like, we've built a lot of trust up as teammates. Midorima's like, yes, I know. And he's like, you're just a really good partner. He's like, yes, I know. And Kisei's like, you guys are just meant to be together. And Midorima's like, shut up. But inside Midorima's like, I know it's true. It was so cute. I love Midorima trying to be tsundere about it. And Takao's little giggle. He's like, come on, Midorima. Freaking adorable. So stinking cute. I loved it. So yeah, I like in between each of the segments, we also get to cut back to the cart. I like it starts out with the people on the outside, like looking at the cart like, what is this? And then we had like a literal Ferris Bueller moment. Where we see like the two guys take off in the cart like on a joyride. I could have sworn Mayuzumi was one of the ones we see walk with the cart. I could have sworn that we saw that. That was interesting. You know what? Kind of in hindsight, I didn't talk about this in the last episode set, but I really feel bad that we didn't get to see Nijimura again. I was convinced Nijimura was going to be a major presence in the final part. I don't know why. I just thought like, oh, we'll see him beyond just the Teiko flashback. And we don't. So I've been told the manga focuses a lot longer on the Teiko flashback. And I mean, Nijimura's on the cover of one of the volumes. So he clearly has a presence, but I was expecting him more in the anime, so I don't want to be spoiled about the movie if he shows up. And then hopefully in the manga we get to see him more, because I really liked his character, and I was sad we only got a few episodes with him. So Murasaki Bara shows up, which is a lot of fun. And my dogs. Murasaki Bara shows up, and he just has what? Maji Burger needs to be advertising their desserts more. Why have these guys been coming to Maji Burger for all this time and they never got a dessert? Those desserts look amazing. Like there's a drink there. There's a sundae with a sparkler coming out of it. There's like 3 cups of ice cream on top of a cone. There's Jell-O. There's 3 different milkshakes. There's a banana split with cantaloupe and honeydew melon in it. What is this? I feel like these boys have been missing out. Maybe the desserts are expensive. Maybe the desserts are really expensive and they just couldn't afford them, so that's why they didn't get them. Maybe that was it. But then I'm like, does Murasaki Bara have a lot of money? Either Murasaki Bara is loaded, like Midorima and Akashi, or Hamuro is loaded and is buying all of the snacks from Murasaki Bara. One of the two. But, God, that's so funny. That's so funny. I'm like, boys, you're missing out. I also like Murasaki Bara and Hamuro's, like, outfits. I didn't think Yosen's colors, their uniforms were like that, but I can't quite remember. I like the black and the red. It especially looks really good on Hamuro. I mean, it looks good on Murasaki Bara, but it really looks good on Hamuro. And then they're all sitting down there. I was worried. I was like, Murasaki Bara, you've bought all these desserts that have ice cream bases. They're all going to melt before you get done eating them. And then he literally takes the shake and just lifts the whole thing up out of the cup and eats it in one bite. And I'm like, oh, never mind. I love that Hamuro and Takao are kind of like, or Takao and Midorima are like, He's like, he only came because Akashi told him to. Like, that is one thing about Murasaki Bara. He definitely trusts Akashi more than anything and will come to him no matter what. So, get that shot of Hamuro and him just looking and staring. And Takao finding Akashi amusing, because Akashi tries to make a joke. He's like, we're here for a little chat. And they're both like, what? He's like, to have a chat. A chat. To have a chat. A chat. And Takao's like, that's just really funny. I love it. I love Takao finding Akashi funny when Midorima's like, really? And then Mabuchi, I love his little gesture where he's just like, we're talking about the Winter Cup. Like, Mabuchi is just one of my favorites. And I love him. And I love that Hamuro's like, oh, that? Like, picking that up again? I'm going to take a picture. Murasaki Bara looks so unamused, like a Valley Girl in that one scene with Mabuchi. So, yeah. So, they're like, and Tatsuya says he knows about the fan disc. What's hilarious about this is he's like, oh, you can do anything, right? And he spirals into a rainbow. I'm like, one, yes, Hamuro. And two, I feel like it reminded me so much of Chuya of Bungo Stray Dogs, for example, and that's the same voice actor as Hamuro. I feel like Hamuro's voice actor is normally with other roles a little bit more, not flamboyant, but a little bit more like energetic and diva-ish. And with Hamuro, it's a lot more subdued. So this was like his chance as Hamuro to kind of go all out, right? I thought that was fun. But I like, Kagami's like, what the heck? It's great. And so Mabuchi's like, settle down. I like Mabuchi has to stop the rainbow conversation with Hamuro. So they do the whole thing with Kaijo versus Seirin, which is great. And Kisei's copying moves. They go on talking about that and about how they've grown stronger. It's great. And then, we see all of Shitoku sitting in the cart. We see Miyagi in the cart. We see the one guy, and we see Mayazumi walking away. That's so crazy, right? Then Amine shows up. And they're like, oh, did you get sick? And he's like, it was Satsuki. And it's like everybody immediately knows what he's talking about. She said it was almost Valentine's Day and she made some chocolates. And that abomination, they all instantly know. That abomination, like, it looks like crap. It's just like the heart is blurred out because it's so offensive. And they're like, good luck, Tetsu! Because you're gonna get some. And I mean, I tried some and was horribly sick afterwards. I also loved the Murasaki Bara blooper where he's looking at Tatsuki at Almine's lunch that Sasuke made, and he's like, and there's like the orchestral music, and he's like, I'll just try a bite. And he instantly collapses. Amazing. But yeah, and then we cut to Mabuchi being like, oh, she was practicing her handmade chocolates. And we see the chocolates that Mabuchi makes, and they look like something off Great British Bake Off, like a French patisserie made it. And they're amazing. And he's like, I'm going to give you chocolates again, Akashi. And Akashi's like, I look forward to them. I was like, that's why Akashi went to Rakuzan, because he found out Mabuchi could cook and was like, oh, I've been living with Satsuki's cooking the last 3 years of middle school. Done. I thought that was so funny. I just was like, and at that point I was like, oh, you're giving him Valentine's Day chocolates. Which, here's the thing. He didn't say White Day chocolates. He said Valentine's Day. So we had this conversation about if Mabuchi was gay or trans. And so maybe Mabuchi is trans and was giving it for Valentine's Day. I don't know. I love Mabuchi's character, whatever the case may be. I love that. And then we get Hamuro with the chocolates surrounding it. It's all very svelte and very suave. And Hamuro's like, oh, well, I'm not as popular as Murasaki Bara. And I'm like, whatever, come on. I just imagine that Hamuro and Murasaki Bara like sit on a couch together eating chocolate bonbons. And they're just, just two bros sitting on a couch eating each other's Valentine's Day chocolates. Nothing to see here. Murasaki Bara with the chocolate fondue pot, though, makes the most sense out of all of this. I love that Murasaki Bara is like, why would I settle with boxes of chocolates when I can have a fondue fountain? And he just has like all the fruit skewered and he's like dipping it in chocolate. He's like, Valentine's Day, every day should be Valentine's Day. That or Halloween. Not for the costumes, not for the, the festivity of it, just for the food. If we know anything, it's like we come to do the festivals for the food. I love it. It's great. And I like that Takao says, I'm not sure if there's value in giving Murasaki Bara chocolate. Like, if you're trying to woo Murasaki Bara, he's going to just like the food that you give him, not necessarily you for giving him the food. That's really funny. And so then, they recollect the finals game between Rakuten and Seirin. And a roller coaster of emotions it was indeed. And then I love that they're talking about I like that Mabuchi kind of goes through saying, like, we were really worried during that game and Akashi kind of put us on edge. And Akashi admits, he's like, it was my instability, the playmaker's heart that dragged you guys in as well. So I'm glad that we get a little bit of canonical self-reflection in this. Would have liked to have it in the actual series and not the special, but I'm glad that we get it here. That Akashi kind of reflects a little bit. I'm like, okay, good. And then we kind of go through what all happened. He's like, Mabuchi talking about how he felt he could make the perfect shot because of Akashi, them all getting in the zone together. And then we talk and then I like that they Akashi is somewhat humble. Which again, I'm like, okay, good. Because they say, oh, as expected of Akashi to get his teammates into the zone in perfect sync. And Akashi says, no, I couldn't have made it by myself. By facing him, I was able to have my resolve. Like facing himself, he was able to have resolve. I do appreciate that Akashi says it wasn't just him, it was the continued efforts of his teammates that helped him get to that point. I was like, good. Again, would have liked to have that in the actual series, but I'm glad you acknowledge here that Mabuchi and the others accepted you, and that's how it came out well. I'm like, fine, good, great. Glad we're hearing this. I'm warming up a little bit after being frigid, right? And so we talk about being in the zone. I felt so bad for Kagami because Aomine is like, how was it in the zone? And Kagami's like, I can't really put it into words. It's like, it's hard to describe, it's camaraderie and I'm getting embarrassed talking about it, but we were all in sync with each other. And I felt so bad for Kagami because they point out, how Akashi's such a strategist, which he is, but then they're like, oh, Kagami, you're just simple. And it's like, oh, and Kagami's like, why are you guys calling me dumb? Like, I felt bad. Kagami gets the rough end of the stick sometimes. They really give him a lot of grief. And I'm like, oh, because he says it was because he heard the voices. He heard the voices from everyone of Kaijo spurring him on and then saw Kuroko in front of the gate and realized he wasn't alone. I was like, Kagami does a pretty good job of explaining it. I like Murasaki Bara goes, this is all too unbelievable. It's too far-fetched. I felt like Kelsey from Discord was like, superpowers. And Murasaki Bara was like, so superpowers, right? That was really, really funny. I loved that. That was great. And then Kagami's like, I just can't explain it. And then I like that Kisei's like, Aomine is not being really honest. He actually feels like, and Amine's like, shut up, Kisei. Sometimes Aomine and Midorima, they get really, really tsundere. But, okay, so the ones that took the cart out for a joyride, those, we see a bunch of guys walk by. We see those are not Shutoku. The ones taking out for a joyride, are they from Hanamiya's team? Are those the guys from Hanamiya's team? The one bubblegum guy is taking it out for a joyride? Wait a minute. I want to see Kurosaki Kuroko uniform. I want to check this. I want to check this school uniform. Come on. What? Wait a minute. What are their high school uniforms? Like high school clothes. Where is that at? I want to check this. Is that Hanamiya's team that took it for a joyride? What school uniform? School casual. I want to see this. Where are them like walking around? I want to see Kurosaki's school uniform. High school uniform. Come on now. I wonder if I think that's Hanamiya's team that's walking around in the outfit. I think they're the ones that took it on a joyride. I'm like, what the hell? Are you kidding me? I hate that we can't see what their uniform looks like the high school uniform. But I honestly think that is the bubblegum guy and the one guy from Hanamiya's team. It's either that or two people from Yosen. Either that or where's Yosen's uniform? Where's Yosen uniform? High school. Maybe it's Yosen's team. I feel like it might be. Like what their school outfits look like. Okay, it is Yosen. Okay. So it's two guys from Yosen's team that took it on a joyride. Oh, it is. Okay, yeah, it's not Hanamiya's team. It's the one guy that looks like Light Yagami and then the bigger guy with the hair. So while they're at the Imachi Burger having this conversation, Yosen is taking Takal's cart on a joyride. That is freaking hilarious. I love that. I want to take a screenshot of that. That's so damn funny. Oh my God. But yeah, we round out the special. I like that we're looking at the little poster and you have Kuroko, Akashi, Kisei, Murasaki Bara, Aomine, Midorima, and Kagami's included on the Generation of Miracles. And then I feel bad Momoe's not in there, and then number 2's in the center. Which I like that. It's kind of thematic of you have all these players, but they also have to play with the number 2. They have to play with somebody else. They can't do it alone. So cute. And then I like Kuroko and Akashi next to each other. It's funny when you actually see them standing next to each other. Kuroko has much more like boyish features and his eyes are much like more wider and kind of bug-eyed, and Akashi's are kind of more slanted. So there is a difference between the two. Akashi looks a little more sly. And then we cut back to everybody and we see Kagami is just like stuffed with burgers and just completely full. Takao is trying to make a joke with Midorima. Mabuchi's sitting there. I love that Kisei is showing Himuro his photo book, and Himuro's like, oh wow, you're a model? And then Murasaki Bara is still eating, and Aomine is like, done. It's great. And they're like, well, how could we end this special? And they're like, Murasaki Bara's on his phone. And then he's like, let's just go play some street ball together. And they're like, oh, right, yay. And honestly, so we would have 5-on-5 because we have Mabuchi, Midorima, Takao, Murasaki Bara, Aomine, Himuro, Kisei, Kagami, Kuroko, and Akashi. We would have 5-on-5. Interesting. Who would we split up? I wish we got to see that. That would have been really cute. But I just love how happy everybody is and excited to go play. That's really cute. Aw, I loved that. That was really sweet. Very, very cute. That special may be my favorite so far, honestly. I think that special may be my favorite. I really loved that. That was super cute. The bloopers and that special are my favorite of the 3. All right. I am excited to see what the movie will give us afterwards in terms of the fan disc and any bloopers or specials. I know there's some character songs with the movie that I'm saving just for the movie. I think there's like 2 songs. But next week, speaking of songs, we're going to be looking at season 3's songs. I don't know how many there are yet. I'm going to ask Anime Annie in the Discord to see how many there are. But I'm really excited to listen to them. I don't know if it will be as many as last time. Hopefully not as many as season 1. There were so many. But I am excited to listen to the songs and talk about them. And who knows? Maybe listening to some songs about Akashi will this special did wonders for my views of Akashi, in all honesty. And this special made me appreciate him a little bit more. Slowly coming around. So I hope the songs will too. But I'm very curious to know your thoughts down below. I hope you liked this reaction and discussion. These were a lot of fun, but I'm already excited for next week, and I'm very excited for the movie and to start the manga. I can't explain into words how excited I am to start the manga and watch the movie. So, and I'm excited for the audio dramas, the light novels, all the other Kuroko content, but the movie and the manga, I've really hyped myself up for, so I'm really excited for that. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I will be back very soon with more Kuroko's basketball.